A brand new Pokemon series is coming on April the 14th. We have a lot of information about this new series and most of it sounds amazing. Obviously our boy Ash Ketchum will no longer be our main character, which was always going to be a sad day, but we can look on towards these brand new characters who all look interesting. So today we're going to be ranking every new character that was revealed in terms of design and just my general interest towards the character, how excited I am to see them in action. But let's get into it. Be sure to hit that like button and I hope you enjoy. Kicking us off is the popular online streamer Nidothing, and straight away to clear things up, I'm going to be using the English names that were revealed. For the most part they're all pretty similar to the Japanese ones, which is always a nice change of pace for Pokemon. So Nidothing just doesn't interest me much. It's kind of a cool gimmick with them being a streamer. We could get an insight to the Pokemon world through their videos and we could see our main crew watching them. This would make for some fun moments, but as a character I'm not too interested at the moment. I could definitely see this rising as time goes on. Maybe their identity under the costume will become a talking point and eventually be a big reveal, but for now nothing too crazy. In number 10 we have Konya. She is a member of the Explorers group and let's be honest, we don't know much about them as of yet. We can only speculate that they're some sort of villainous group, but that might not even be the case. They could just sort of start being evil and then maybe turn things around as the show goes on. But they're definitely giving off big Team Rocket vibes. Konya was just the least interesting of them for me, and her owning a Golduck doesn't really interest me either. And then similar to Konya we have her partner Zir. Pretty much the same points I made again. He does have a really cool design, I think both of them do. We just don't know much about them just yet. It is interesting that they're accompanying Amethio. He seems like more of a serious character, where these two are giving me off more Jesse and James vibes. He owns a Rhydon, which is cool. I always like seeing this Pokemon in action. So overall I'm looking forward to finding out much more about these two explorer characters. In number 8 we have Murdoch. He is the chef on Freed's ship. He's ranked quite low here, but in no way does that mean I'm not interested. I think all 4 of these members that were revealed look awesome and they all bring their own quirks. Murdoch being a chef is just so cool and reminds me of Sanji from One Piece. He has a great design and gives me a lot of Alola vibes in how he dresses, and of course he owns a Rockruff. I think he'd get along perfectly with the 5th gym leader in the Paldea region, Kofu, as they're both chefs. I can definitely see an episode happening where they both meet up. In 7 is Ludlow, and the fact that we don't really know much about this guy is what interests me the most. His design is really awesome, being based on a Drampa, and he hasn't actually been revealed to own a Drampa yet, so I'm wondering, does he have one, or is he going to be looking to catch one in certain episodes? He's a fisherman, so he probably goes on various fishing trips to try find new Pokemon and help the crew out. I think he'll be like an old wise mentor figure for the crew to rely on. Orla is the crew's mechanic. She has a great design and it's just nice to see different roles being fitted and different themes that fit the characters. It only makes sense for a crew going round on a giant airship to have a mechanic on hand just in case. She also owns a damn Metagross, so it would be amazing to see a pseudo legendary a part of the main cast, and it would just be cool seeing how it helps Orla when she's fixing the ship. I'd like it if Orla maybe got some battle action. She seems to be a tough trainer, so we'll see. And there's a whole battlefield on the ship, maybe she could have built it or designed it. Overall she's going to be a really interesting character for this series for sure. Number 5 is Molly, and I'm surprised she's this high to be honest, but she just really intrigues me. Her design is amazing. Of course she looks like a Nurse Joy, being designed after a Pokemon doctor. And that is the part that has me most intrigued. Is she actually a part of the Joy family? It would be super cool if she had some backstory where maybe she went off, left the family business to pursue her dream of adventuring, and joined Freed's crew as a doctor. I can already see some great episodes revolving her in the plot, and that's what gets me most excited. She owns a Chansey, which of course makes sense as she's a doctor, so I'm just overall really looking forward to seeing what she brings. Next up we have Amethio, and as soon as we saw this guy I knew that this would probably be my favourite character. I'm drawn to these edgy rival type characters and he fits the bill. Oh, and he owns a damn Cerulege, which is only my favourite Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet. I'm so excited to see this guy in action. He's going to be battling Liko in the first episode and I can't wait. The reason he's not in the top 3 was just because we don't know much about him. Sure, he's a part of this Explorers group, but we don't know what they're doing. I just hope he keeps his serious demeanour about him as the series goes on and acts as a real rival for Liko, but as of now he just looks so cool and I can't wait to see him and Cerulege in action. In the 3rd spot is our joint main protagonist, Roy. When it was first announced and we saw Liko and Roy, I wasn't a massive fan of Roy so much. However, the more the weeks went on, the more we saw this guy, the more artwork, the more information. He just looks really cool. We only know a few things about him so far. He's from Kanto. His starter is Fuecoco, and he has this mysterious Pokeball which somehow relates to his goal of wanting to battle the legends. His goal sounds awesome, but I'm not too sure how it's going to work. I hope they make it realistic. We don't want another Go problem where the goal is just too hard to accomplish. I think he'll be a strong battler. His Fuecoco will probably evolve all the way up. I'm just really interested to see what he'll bring. He has such a cool design and there's a lot of mystery around him. And then we have our other protagonist, Liko. I know they are joint protagonists, but at the moment she is giving off the bigger vibes of the two, that she's going to take a bit more of centre stage than Roy. She has so much mystery surrounding her. She has a pendant that was given to her by her grandmother that we have no idea what it does. I think something that is so enticing about this series and interests me is the two mysterious objects, the pendant and Roy's Pokeball. Creating a bit of mystery is something that Pokemon hasn't really done in the past. Let's not talk about the GS Ball. For the most part, we know what we are in for in the Pokemon anime, but this adds a new dynamic. She's going to be getting a Sprigatito as her starter. She's going to be battling a Meteor in the first episode. There's just a lot to be excited about regarding her character. Not the biggest fan of her attending a boarding school in Kanto, but it is what it is. She's going to be a great protagonist in my opinion, and who knows, maybe she has some sort of link to Ash, as she has the hairpin shaped like his hat and his new shoes that he just got in the last episode, so there's even more mystery in that sense. But in first place is the Chad himself, Freed. I mean, this man is out here above the main two protagonists. He's just so cool. Firstly, his character design along with Amethio is probably the best they've shown so far. He's the leader of the Rising Vault Tacklers, which is the crew of characters that we've already spoken about. He's the captain along with his Captain Pikachu. He just seems like a really fun character. He seems to be a jack of all trades. He can probably battle. He's a professor. He owns a damn airship. He's got a Charizard. Everything about this guy is cool and interesting, and I think he'll tie into the main plot massively and help Liko and Roy along with their travels. One thing I'm hoping for Freed and his ship is to just make it feel lived in. Have whole episodes set on the ship dedicated to battling, training, spending time in these areas of the ship, because it's so interesting to me. I don't want it to just be fast travelling from region to region like Journeys did. Let's spend time with Freed and his crew, see how they interact and how their daily lives go aboard this ship. Overall, Freed is going to bring this whole show together. I think he's not the main character, but he's going to make sure things function, maybe similar to a Brock role. But also you can tell he has a quirky side. I think he's going to be a fan favourite from the start, and that's why he is number one. So that's it for the ranking, and man, I cannot wait for this series to kick off. Talking about these characters more has got me excited. It's going to be interesting, and let's hope this series is fire right out of the gate. But that's it for now. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.